Hey everybody, welcome back to Fandomly Speaking,
where each week we speak randomly about fandoms. I'm Liza.
and I'm Melissa, and this week we are getting random about a whole bunch of our fandoms and deciding on the best and worst book boyfriends.
We're talking about boys today. I'm so excited.
Yay.
And we're going to be talking about a lot of different books. It's all books today, book boyfriends. And so there could be spoilers if you haven't read some of these books.
Yes. Yep. And another little warning, we are two genx, autistic, unmasked, and overstimulated women, and we just don't know what's going to come out of our mouth, but
That's
we
right.
do hope you're going to enjoy it. Yeah,
We enjoy it.
We enjoy it. I'm so excited. I think, was it last night or this morning that I texted you and I was like, we're going to talk about boys.
It was yesterday. Yeah. We were always like, it's podcast day.
Yay! It's the happiest day of the week.
I don't know if you've seen Empire Records, but it's like, it's Rex Manning Day every Friday. We're like, it's podcast day.
Ooh, yes. No, we're very excited. So to everybody who's been listening, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. I know there's probably not a huge market for women our age talking about fandom, but there should be.
Why not? There's so many women our age who are into fandoms.
Yes, they just have to find us. This week in geeking, Liza, what did you do this week? Geekiness.
Oh, I had done a bunch of stuff. So I'm rewatching Lost and Buffy, but Lost is so different on a rewatch. It's crazy on a rewatch. And I read a book called A Problematic Summer Romance. That one was really good. A book called Great Big Beautiful Life, and one called A Proposal to Die For. That one's free on Audible, by the way.
Oh, cool.
That's a Molly Harper as well. So it's
cool. Love Molly.
Yeah, and I started watching Mashal with my daughter. That's an anime. She watches a lot of anime with her dad. Yeah. And I have not watched a lot with her, and she was like, will you watch this with me? So of course I will. And it's about a magical youth. No. It is about a non-magical youth who goes to a magic school. So he goes to like a Hogwarts type school, but he's not magical.
Oh, that sounds interesting, and it sounds like maybe Caden told me about that at some point.
Yeah. It's done in a really goofy way. It's super goofy anime, so she likes it.
That's cool. Yay. This week, I have been trying all week to finish the last Throne of Glass book, Kingdom of Ash. Mm-hmm. The book is 998 pages long. Mm-hmm. And
after that huge stack of books, it comes at the end of,
And I'm reading it on a Kindle, so it's just telling me the percentage I have left, and I keep thinking, oh, I can blow through 30%. No, Melissa. And also the battles are there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I think I really am almost at the end at this point, and I might finish it tonight. But like every night I keep trying to push, and then I wake up around 3:00 in the morning still in the recliner with the book on my lap. So, so that's I'm going to get there eventually. I have been rewatching Buffy for the last couple of weeks. I don't even know how many times I've rewatched Buffy, but I love it every time I rewatch it. And similar to what you're experiencing with Lost, probably what I've experienced with Lost, and I think all shows, every time you rewatch them, you bring yourself to them from where you are right now.
Yeah.
Not where you were when it came out 20 years ago necessarily.
Right.
And so you're like, wow, I saw this so differently the last time.
Exactly.
So, I read a really interesting book called The Stone Witch of Florence. And it's about a witch in the 1300s in Florence during the plague, during the Black Death. So it was very, very...
That sounds fun!
She made it okay. She added a little bit of humor. We've got a little bit of magic, a little bit of humor, and a whole bunch of dead bodies all over Europe being disgusting. So
right.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to this week
was a lot.
in the geeking.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah, Buffy, I mean, I'm on season 5, and I've only been going for about 2.5 weeks. I am just plowing through Buffy.
So much Lost that I'm getting like an episode of Buffy here and there. So
yeah,
I'm trying to get through with Lost before we do the show.
Yep. Yeah. So we have episodes on Buffy and Lost coming, and we're really excited about those. We just want to, we need to really look at them with a critical eye and get our thoughts together. So we're gonna talk about boys.
Yay!
Where's my spreadsheet?
So we started off
Television
saying
fiction.
we were going to do the worst book boyfriends or something like that. But then we were like, no, we need to do like the best book boyfriends and the worst. And so we've kind of shifted around what we made a big, I made a big long list. Your list is longer than mine.
Is it really? Well, I went, to do this, I went through my whole Kindle library and my Audible library. I didn't go dig through the physical books, but a lot of my physical books are also on my Kindle.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think the reason that we struggled a little bit with just doing worst book boyfriends is there's a lot of people on here who are both.
Yeah,
best
I have
and worst.
a situation that's both. Like I have a whole segment of both. But also, this is kind of going to be touchy. It's like a touchy subject because no matter who we pick, there's going to be people who loved that guy. Like if it's the worst, there will be people who absolutely love that guy and vice versa.
Yeah. So
it's hard.
just I think most of the people on this list, I mean, I'm not talking about that I would like beat them up or hurt them or anything. I'm just like, I wouldn't want you to be my boyfriend.
Right. Yeah. Also, I think that our criteria were a bit different because there was a ton of people I thought about, but I didn't put on my list because the criteria that I used was they actually had to be a boyfriend in the book. Like I saw that you put Rune Dannon on there, and God, I love Rune so much.
Yeah.
But he didn't really have like his relationship wasn't like boyfriend in the book, so I didn't put him on my list. So
I guess it was
list.
a weird boyfriend relationship.
There's a lot of hot guys that I'm like, yeah, that one would be a good book boyfriend, but I didn't.
Yes.
So he didn't make my list.
All right.
But
yeah, I just was like, what
whittle it
guys did I
down.
have the hot? What guys did I have the hots for while I was reading the book?
Yes, my list would have been so long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I tried to like they had to be sort of have had a potential romantic involvement with somebody in the book. That was kind of my criteria. So our criteria differed, but we've come up with some excellent lists. Very scientific lists.
Very.
Okay, so how do you want to do this?
Like I said, I have mine divided into best category, worst, and both. So was yours different?
Mine is it's not really. I have good, bad, maybe bad, and both. I also have a category called good-ish.
Good-ish.
If there was no one else, maybe I could get around these. So I think we're going to discuss kind of the reasoning behind our choices, not just a list and make you figure out.
You're funny.
I was trying to talk myself in and out of things, but also he did those things. But I mean, overall, was he good?
My problem was I read so much like romance that all of these guys are supposed to be good book boyfriends. It was really hard to just like if I went through my whole Audible, I could have just put the names of every main character because they're all supposed to be. But
yep.
I tried to whittle it down.
I almost picked a guy from a Christmas book I read. It was called I think it's called How My Neighbor Stole Christmas that we read for book club.
I read that. I think I'm almost positive I read that.
Yeah, and it was funny because they picked it because they thought it was like a Hallmark movie Christmas book, and they didn't know that it was spicy.
Spicy, yeah.
And so one of the ladies started reading it before us, and she was like, "My eyes! I'm going to have to go to confession. This book is pornographic." And I was like,
"Oh, it's a Megan Quinn." Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But it was good. I enjoyed it. It was really funny. It was really funny.
I read that one.
But there was some spice, and a lot of the ladies were
Hallmarky, like just spicy Hallmark.
Spicy Hallmark. I'm like, it's a new genre. Get with it. Yeah. And then I found a whole bunch of other spicy Hallmark books for Christmas. So yeah.
But it was it was barely spicy. It was just
for these ladies. I mean, them sitting there cracking me up. Like two of them teach CCD. So, which is like Bible school for Catholic people. So,
I see. I gotcha. My spice meter is it's on a different wavelength maybe than most people.
Yeah.
Don't
I have
ask
like
me.
a moderate spice level, Then I can skip the parts where I'm like, okay, no, there's too many bodily fluids happening now. I can't. Although I have to tell you, with this Kingdom of Ash, if one more person has spicy time covered in blood, dirt, mud.
I thought there was no spicy time in Throne of Glass. I thought it was 100% YA because the only one I remember is Aelin and Rowan on the beach, and it fades to black, right?
Yes.
It was only fade to black.
It's not.
But you're meaning just that it happens.
Right. That we know that they did it.
Right.
Okay. We know that they did, and I'm just like, ew.
Yeah.
You're so gross right now.
Exactly. You have to really suspend your belief on all of these.
Really. And she goes through this big long description of how covered in gore they are, and then they're like, and then the one what's killing me is the ones who've taken a bath, then kissing and hugging the people who haven't bathed yet. Yes. And I'm like, look, I know we just got through a war, but I know I'd be like,
yeah,
I would be so grossed out. Like kissing you,
yeah.
You smell. Alrighty. So, do we want to go in with kind of our absolute worsts first, or
sure?
How do you want to
because
do
that's
it?
Probably easiest. Like we can easily. Like I have maybe a shorter list than yours was. Your list was kind of long, so of course I put Edward from Twilight on my list as one of the worst.
As one of the worst, yes.
Yep.
Yes, he is down here as a bad. I have him
that
as
was today, right? Didn't it drop today, the Twilight episode?
Yes, our Twilight episode is out.
So you'll hear all about why we thought Edward was the absolute
so
worst.
Many thoughts. Yes, absolute worst. Yeah.
Also said Christian Grey from 50 Shades. They're just two peas in a pod. They're just the worst.
Yeah.
Tamlin's on my worst list.
Tamlin, I forgot to put him on the list, but yeah, he should be there as a worst.
The worst. I put Coriolanus Snow on my list from Songbird.
You're right. Yeah.
Just the worst boyfriend ever.
The worst boyfriend. So bad. So bad.
I know you haven't read this book. It's a book called Drive. It's by, I think, why did I forget her name? Kate Stewart. Reed Crown from Drive is maybe the worst book I've ever read, the worst book boyfriend I've ever read in my whole entire life. And it's so funny because you know how when you read something and you love it, and so you go to read that author's other things?
Yeah.
One of my most favorite books I talked about, I think last week or the week before, is the Ravenhood series. And she wrote this series, and I just loved it so much. So I went to read some of her other stuff. And this book called Drive. This guy lives in an apartment with the bed on the floor, no furniture at all. He punches holes in the walls by her head. He leaves her and gives her a stroke. That's not a joke. And then 1 week after he left her, and she saw him with another girl. This is who she ends up with in this book. I am not kidding. The worst I have ever read in my life. And she tried to romanticize this, and I was like, how? What? And the main female character actually ended up almost married to the sweetest, nicest man and left him for this piece of trash. I hate this book so much.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
The last one on my worst list is Jeremy Crawford from Verity. I do not love
I
Colleen
forgot
Hoover.
about Verity. Yes.
And I think that we were supposed to think the two women in that book were the problem. He was the problem, and I hated him, and he was the worst. And
manipulative.
He can jump in a hole.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh boy.
Okay. So that was my worst list.
Here's my worst list. So, Bill Compton from the Sookie Stackhouse books, and also the TV show. But we're not doing the TV show right now. But Bill in the books is from the very beginning, he's lying to Sookie, and like the whole thing is predicated on a lie. So he comes there misrepresenting himself, but then he's like, but I really loved you and I did all this stuff, but I totally lied to you. And then I kept lying to you. And then I was like a jealous freak, but I kept lying to you. Yeah. And so just based on Bill's lies, he is on my worst list. And I don't think he was good for Sookie at all. Ever. So he's on my bad list. I have like a maybe bad next to Azrael from the ACOTAR series.
And see, he didn't get on my list because he wasn't a boyfriend yet. So maybe
we don't really know.
Right.
So he could be a good boyfriend. Maybe.
We're not sure
But I
yet.
just have a feeling that he is still so wounded, and kind of the fact that in 500 years he hasn't really had a relationship.
Yeah.
And then the way he was acting around the whole Elaine thing, like he's like, well, you guys both got mates, then she has to be my mate. I deserve a mate. Like I was like, oh, I don't think this is going to be a good relationship.
Yeah.
No. And then we're gonna hop over to the place I've been living for a while now, which is the Throne of Glass series.
Yeah.
So how is his name pronounced? Is it K-all? Is it
K-all?
K-all?
Like K-all.
Okay.
Yeah,
K-all. All right, K-all. Bad boyfriend. He keeps, throughout the thing, they keep trying to give him a redemption arc, it feels like. But he always just gets so wrapped up in himself that he just, and he never really sees the women right in front of him for how awesome they are.
I can't stop comparing K-all and Dane Atos. Like, they're kind of one and the same character to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They were written in the same font.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So then Dorian, also same universe, same books, and very similar problems. I think, I think in both cases, these men are so wrapped up in themselves, and they keep seeing these women as these like unattainable prizes. It's like they put them on a pedestal, but then they knock them down, and then they treat them like shit, and then they wonder why this person doesn't love them anymore. And then a person dies, and they're like, oh my God, I'm devastated. And I'm like, well, maybe you should have appreciated her when she was alive.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, they bug me. And in the same book, same thing. Aedion?
I don't know how you pronounce that one.
Aedion. I call him
Aedion.
Okay. But it's probably Aedion. Yeah.
I think it is.
In my head, I've been calling him Aiden. And the reason why I have him here as bad is because he's got this wonderful woman in his life, and he keeps treating her like shit. He says horrible things to her. Why she ends up with him, I'm like, I'm sorry. I know that you guys just went through a war and he did a lot of heroic shit, but do you forget what he said to you? If he could... Here's the thing. If a guy says that to you once, if he says something to you like that once, he's gonna do it again. Just like cheats once, he's gonna do it again. Those are my rules. So I don't care how heroic or tragic or whatever you want to make him. He said horrible, horrible things. He belittled her. He treated her like crap. He refused to speak to her for months while they were on this really long journey just because... he was offended by some shit. No.
Right.
Nope. And then Gale. Not obviously he's Gale from Hunger Games. He's not in the world of the Thrones book that I've forgotten the name of just this moment. I'm going a Court of Thrones. No, it's not a court.
The funny thing is I didn't even put Gale down because I was just like, he doesn't even warrant me writing him down. I just didn't even put him. I'm like, ugh. Gale.
I mean, we talked a lot about Gale in the Hunger Games episode and PETA. So PETA's on here, but he's not on the bad
Mine
list.
too. Yeah, mine too.
Yep. Yeah. And I think, and then Marius in the Vampire Chronicles, because his relationship, I love Pandora in those books. They're both very ancient vampires from like the days of ancient Rome.
Right.
And he turns her, but he also knew her when she was like a little girl right before puberty, so that's a little weird. Like a little bit of grooming may have gone on with Pandora, and so then he turns her, and he seems to think that he owns her, and he does not understand why she left him. And he's just butthurt about it forever. And I'm like, Marius, you don't see what you did to this vibrant, independent woman. He just makes me so mad because I love Marius. And that could have been a beautiful relationship. And the whole reason that then she goes on to spend over 1,000 years having a lot of issues and getting herself attached to another jerk. Who's actually a worse jerk, is because of how things went with Marius. So he ruined Pandora, and I'm never going to forgive him for it.
My favorite thing about all these stories about vampires specifically is that they live hundreds and then thousands of years, but they never seem to get therapy in any of those. Like they never seem to work through whatever issues they had from 1,000 years ago. They just still have it. That's their
and they
vendetta
keep
for
repeating
life.
them.
Yeah.
You know, you just watch them do the same things. Like even Lestat, I could have put him down as a bad boyfriend.
Yeah.
But yeah, he grows, but never in a good way. He just changes. I'm not sure we can call that growth.
Right.
Change does not always equal growth.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those were my bads. Those were kind of my worst boyfriends.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my goodish. So my like, I mean, I guess they're good. I guess they're not bad. Okay. I guess they're not the worst.
Oh.
So I have that category. Do you have like a...
The only one that I had was just ones that went in both. Like they were, and the ones that I put in both were ones that like I personally had the hots for and would really like to have as a book boyfriend, but they are full of red flags that were honestly probably get me killed, you know?
Yeah, so I think that's what I mean about goodish. Goodish is probably both.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Now that we're talking about that. So you want me to do my goodish, both sort of? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, great. Best book boyfriend ever. Mm-hmm. There's a reason for this. Is Eric Northman with amnesia in the Sookie Stackhouse books. The absolute best, most enjoyable Sookie book. I believe it's book 4. That's the one where Eric has amnesia. They do the amnesia storyline in the show too, but in the book, it's like a much more he is such a good, supportive boyfriend in the book. But then when he gets his memories back, he's Eric again. And he's like he's like, no, I think I can still do this, Sookie. I think I can still maybe make you happy. But he can't because he's Eric.
Oh, honey, I loved you when you forgot everything about who you were.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. He was adorable. Yeah. And then, so we're back into Sookie books. So Sam Merlot, his stuff that happens in the TV show goes very differently. Sam has, a complicated life, but I think he always has Sookie's best interests at heart, even when sometimes he's being judgmental or jealous. But even when he's jealous and he acts jealous, he's not like possessive, dangerous, creepy jealous. He's just like, you really like him? Really, Sook? Really? I'm right here.
Are you trying to like you trying to make the jealousy out to be kind of okay? So funny to me.
I know, but he's not like super. I mean, like he's not like, I don't know. There's levels of jealousy, and then there's.
Yeah, we talked about that one time though, where the jealousy just gives me the biggest ick. It's like, oh God, grow up.
Yeah. No, I know. I have no patience for jealous men. So
in real life, right? Like when you
in
read
real
about
life.
it,
No, my husband.
You can. Yeah, exactly.
Never.
Just the biggest ick.
Never had to have that conversation. So also goodish in the books is Alcide. Now, and TV show Joe Manganiello. So he's now Alcide in my head because damn, he looked so good on that show. And he
on
looks
most
different.
Shows.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know. And I have him sort of in the both column because he really had the potential, and I think it was going in a good direction. But then I feel like this is one of those situations where the author did something to a character, and so she changed Alcide to make him like be head of the pack. He was pack master, and then that changed him in ways that I'm not sure that he would have changed. So I almost feel like she did that to him, and I'm annoyed by it.
And it went a different way in the show because I have not read the books. I have all the books like in my queue to read before we go on that show, but I have only watched the show, so not the...
Yeah. He's different. All of them are slightly different or very different. Sam's very different.
Exciting.
He's not. He's way more in the TV show than he is in the books.
Yeah.
And then there's one little honorable mention as good. The good boyfriend in the Sookie Stackhouse books is Quinn. you guys can, he's very briefly in the books. And I just think that if that could have had a chance, I think Quinn could have been very good for her, because it was a very positive relationship when they were together, and he understood her world and was kind of in it because he's a were-tiger, but like he owned a company, and I don't know. I really liked Quinn, and I wanted that to go somewhere. And then Charlene had an end game in mind. Mm-hmm. So she wrote this great character, and then she had to figure out a way to make Quinn go away. So she came up with a stupid storyline and then Quinn was gone. And I remember the first time I was reading the books, I was like, no, wait, no, there's no more Quinn. So
they never really want what's best for the female main character, you know?
No, not when they're going to write that many books.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know why this is a mistake. I put Rowan as goodish. No, Rowan is good.
I would say that, especially in the earlier books, though. Like,
well, I mean, he's hard on
to
her.
like him in those earlier books.
True.
Anybody that punches you in the face, I'm sorry, you gotta give a little grace for Rowan, because he is not very likable in those early books.
No, that's true. That's probably why I did that. Yeah, I think at the end, but in the beginning, it's almost like the Nesta Cassian conversion camp situation.
Correct.
He's like gonna whip her into shape by whipping her into shape. Well, not whipping. Yeah. We wouldn't whip Aelin. That would be horrible. Because we've done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who else was goodish? Hunt Athalar. Because
did you? You put him in there. He's in my best one. I love.
He's
Hunt.
in your best. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's because he's just. He keeps forgetting that Brace can take care of herself, and I don't know. There's some times where he just puts me off. Yeah. Because of that, and then
it's the backwards baseball cap, isn't it?
Oh, please. Yeah. I think it's because the things that he's judgmental of her about in the first book really show his character. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why do you have a problem with a woman who goes to get her nails done and chit-chats with her nail tech? I'm sorry, is she not supposed to do that? And, she can do other things. She
and
can
also,
be investigating
as far as
a murder.
Goes, he's only okay with her doing that when he realizes that she was doing it for a reason. Yeah. In other words, women who do that are, like, lesser in his opinion.
Yes.
You know?
Yep. So, yeah, he everything, I still like love all he's awesome. He's awesome. And then Rune Dannon, because first of all, I want to date Rune Dannon. He sounds hot.
Same here. Good Lord. Have you seen the fan art of Rune Dannon? My God. Good gracious.
Yes, would love me some Rune Dannon. He can do visits in the dreams with me. It would be fine.
He does have a lot of red flags, though. Good gracious.
He does. And then he treats a woman badly, judges her, and treats her like crap. Because, and I'm like, hello, look in the mirror.
He is very hot, but just in his personal life, he is very frat boy. Very frat boy. He basically is a frat boy. So.
They're living in a frat house.
Right. I mean, that's a big old red flag. But
it's
that's
and he's
definitely a both category.
Huge daddy issues. Rune Dannon, huge daddy issues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jacob is both.
Yeah.
Jacob is both.
And I don't have Jacob on here because he wasn't her actual boyfriend, but I would agree. Yeah. He's both.
I have PETA as both.
Do you now? Okay. All right.
I think I'm being a little too hard on PETA.
Ma'am, Allie Hazelwood just broke it. She got bullied off the internet for bad-mouthing PETA this week, like within the past few days.
I love PETA. PETA is best.
You got to make peace with everybody.
No, don't cancel me.
Woo! I absolutely love Allie Hazelwood.
He probably belongs as a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
I
absolutely love Allie Hazelwood. I love her books. I love everything about her. And she came out this week. I don't even know what it was in, an interview or something. She said that PETA was kind of useless. And I don't know what she even meant by that. But my God, she got bullied so badly that she is not on the internet right now. Like,
Didn't we kind of say that about PETA though in the Hunger Games episode?
Exactly. Shh.
No, no, we love Peter. He was so useful and very important to the whole process.
That's right. So in my both, I only have 4 in my both.
Okay.
And I'm guessing you disagree with me on 2 of these because they're not in your both. So I put Rhysand in both because we had so much to say in our ACOTAR episode about how we love Rhysand, but he's also full of red flags.
I have him as good. I do have him as good bad. I just put it as good bad and not goodish because I changed my process. Okay, I can agree with you on that.
So he there's just so much wrong with Rhysand. But we love him, and if but
at the same time, I want
I'd hop on the chance for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
And so I also put Xaden in that category from Fourth Wing.
Okay.
Xaden is covered in red flags, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So many. He has mommy issues and all sorts of issues and lots of lying to her and all sorts of things.
All sorts of things. He's probably worse than Rhys in a lot of ways. I love Xaden. Yes.
But he was both. The Ravenhood trilogy I keep talking about, Dominic King. Oh my God, I would do terrible things to have Dominic King, but he is the king of red flags. Just really, really, really bad red flags.
Yeah.
And I put Jamie from Outlander in here because I think everyone loves Jamie and the fantasy of Jamie, but it was bad. He beat her. He essentially raped a woman. He did.
He's very much a man of those times.
Don't like to talk about those things, but it's all the truths. So there's a lot of issues with Jamie.
Yeah.
So that was my only 4 in my best and worst category, both together.
Yeah. Well, that's
good-ish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were a lot more black and white than I was. I started seeing everybody in shades of goodish.
That makes sense for how we both are.
Yeah, I think so.
We've talked about how I just have very black and white thinking on a lot of things, and
just shades of gray. Not 50 though. I'm not that. I'm not like that. No. I don't have a lot of good ones though. I realize. I only have a few.
Well, I'll go through mine. We'll see which ones we agree on.
Okay.
I did put Peeta in mine, in my best boyfriends, and
I'll give him that. I'll put Peeta in good. I'll do.
And I put Hunt Athalar in mine because I love Hunt so much, but I don't think the rest of them. I don't think you would have any of these because I don't think you know these books. At least we haven't talked about them. Charlie Lastra from Emily Henry's Book Lovers. I love that book, and I love Charlie Lastra. There's 3 from contemporary romance, I think. So Jack Smith from Love Theoretically and Adam Carlson from Love Hypothesis. Those are Allie Hazelwood. Allie Hazelwood writes women in STEM romance novels.
Oh,
so good. All the women are really brilliant women in STEM, in some part of STEM in some way. And I like the men she writes. A lot of people criticize the men she writes. I like them. So they're both in there. Daniel Grant from Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Abby Jimenez is probably my favorite contemporary romance author. And that is one of the best books. And that whole series is amazing. And all the men are amazing. But
why him?
I don't know why him. Just like I said, I like the men that she writes. And this kind of starts off this trilogy. And he's just so sweet. It's kind of like she is kind of the rich, not famous, but successful one. And he's kind of more hometown. Almost Hallmarky. But I don't know. It was a great, wonderful book.
Yeah.
I recommend a series to everyone here called The House Witch. It's by Delham House. Finley Ash Owen is the best book boyfriend ever. He's the house witch. He is the witch in the book.
Okay.
And the whole series is one of my favorite I have ever read, and I think everybody should read it.
Oh, okay.
Everybody should read it.
I'm about to look for a new thing to read, so maybe I'll make that my next.
This would be considered cozy fantasy.
Oh, good. I could use some cozy. I've been in a very heavy battle. Yeah. Throne of Glass is a lot of battling.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So,
a lot of military strategy and
Yeah, The House Witch in that whole series is so good.
Oh, okay, cool.
I put all of the Sakui, they're all the Ice Planet barbarians, just to give me all the blue horned men.
Okay.
That's a whole planet of cinnamon rolls. She pretty much only writes cinnamon rolls. That's it.
Cool.
Aww, so I love them. Nice. I need one 7 foot tall blue guy.
Need her a big 7 foot tall blue guy.
And a spur. The spur is important.
Okay.
I put Jasper on here because we can't go an episode without talking about Jasper.
Talk about Jasper. Yeah.
Where's my boyfriend?
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Jasper.
I said PETA and Red Morgan from Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because that man really knows how to take care of a woman with chronic illness.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He's perfect on all those ways. And that's all my best book boyfriends.
Oh, right. Okay, so my best book boyfriends is a little shorter because I decided everybody was good-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Quinn, like I said, love him. You going down. So Charlaine Harris, she's written a bunch of different series.
Right.
The Gunny Rose series is it's a really unique. It's sort of the Wild West, but in a post-apocalyptic situation, and there's like the Russian Confederacy, like the United States has been split up by other countries, and it's not really the United States anymore. There's magic. And Gunny Rose, she's basically like a bounty hunter. She's a gun for hire.
Okay.
Great shot, kills people. That's how she feeds herself. And she meets this young, what do they call them in that book? They're either magicians or wizards. It's totally
like magic
escaping me.
Magic users.
Magic users. And his name is Eli Savarov. And I just think that he is just such a solid guy. She's such a complex character with a lot of wounds and a lot of stuff, and they go through a lot together. And it's a slow burn. Oh. I wouldn't call it enemies to friends. I would just call it like thrown into a situation together, and it kind of sneaks up on her. And I really, really like him. I think he's a good guy trying to do good things, and I think he tries to do right by her. And also, he sounds really hot, and he can do magic.
Of course. That's important.
Of course. This one, I know this one kind of threw you. So I was going to say, raise your hand if you read Clan of the Cave Bear. You could feel free to do that at home if you want to raise your hand.
So we were traumatized by Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear. So I read it in high school, and then somewhere during the pandemic, my mom mentioned the books, and she's like, "Remember those books that we loved about the cave people?" So I got them, and I didn't realize I hadn't read the last book. So John Villar is Ayla's ends up being Ayla's mate person.
Man.
He is just so good the whole time. He's good with her. He's good with kids. He's good with people. He's just, he can build things. He's reliable. He is also hot as hell caveman. Hot Viking looking
caveman hot.
Caveman hot. Caveman hot. And also she did this little thing in the books that I thought was adorable. He has a habit of when he first wakes up in the morning and he goes and he pees off the side of the cliff, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And then he gets like a piece of like grass or a weed or twigs or whatever, and he scrubs his teeth. She has him brush his teeth, even though it's caveman times. And I'm just like, thank you.
And it's just always so funny to me in these like period pieces how they kind of get around that. And people like in the Outlander series will always be like, well, he had bad breath. And then people come running to Jamie's defense like, well, Claire taught him how to brush his teeth. And I'm just over here thinking, like, in 2025, I need a lot of dental care. I got teeth brushing, and I don't think a twig in the mouth is going to be doing it for me. I don't think so.
I don't think so. And I think he's going to be losing teeth. People lost their teeth.
Lots
a
and
lot.
Lots.
They went, and even, it's funny, even in, my youth, like our grandparents didn't have teeth.
Yeah.
By the time they were like my age, they were already having partial dentures in their late 50s. So, having teeth is a recent.
Even today, with all the stuff we have, all the dental care, we still have tons of cavities and lots of problems and root canals and things you have to go. Like, I have to go all the time to the dentist for all sorts of stuff. I don't think a stick in the mouth is not doing it for me.
Not doing it. No, sorry.
But I had to tell
probably
you,
smells.
Correct. Okay. He absolutely smells. Of course he does. She always says he smells like horses and man sweat. I'm like, gross. That's disgusting. But I wanted to tell you, I saved it for to talk about in the podcast about Clan of the Cave Bear. I also read it in high school, and my mom gave it to me because she had read it, and her mom, my grandma, had read it. And so we'd all read, and they're quite spicy. Caveman spicy.
They actually are, yes.
Randy cavemen. And my grandma also gave it to my first cousin, who is her grandson. And before she gave it to him, she took a Sharpie marker and marked out all the spicy. And this time he was married with children. But it wasn't like she didn't want him reading it. It was like she didn't want him to know she had read it.
Oh, that's adorable.
So somehow I was fine reading it, but she didn't want him to know she'd read this stuff. So she marked out every spicy passage with a marker.
She didn't want him to know that she knew about
Grandma.
Those things.
That's right.
Oh, Grandma. That's so cute.
It is.
And then Leon Farrell, Chronicles of St. Mary. Anybody who loves time travel stories, the Chronicles of St. Mary series is big, and there's novellas and there's short stories, but it's a series of books, and there's basically the love interest, Leon Farrell. I think he's just a really, really solid guy who puts up with a lot.
What time is he from?
He's from like modern day.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin it with any more than that. And he's, so he like brushes his teeth and bathes. And and he's just a really, really solid guy. Really, really like him. Another, the Psychic Eye series of books. Her name is, I think, Victoria Laurie. It's about a medium who does psychic readings, and she ends up getting like pulled into all these murder cases, and through that she meets an FBI agent named Dutch. And there's like romance and relationship stuff, but I think Dutch is like, I would totally date Dutch. I think Dutch is a very solid guy. Love me some Dutch. And then William Marshall, who was a real knight supposedly. And then I don't know if she fell in love with him while researching him and like putting him in the book, because then she ended up writing, it's just a 2-book series. And the first one's called A Place Beyond Courage. And it's like his story. And he's a knight in shining armor. I mean,
perfect.
Yes. He's just a good guy, and he just sounds really handsome. So
he sounds really handsome.
Yeah. And then my last one is a guy named Arius from Mistress of Rome, which there's, I think, 2 or 3 books in that series. He's a gladiator.
Nice.
He's a gladiator in Rome, and
he's not brushing his teeth or
not brushing his teeth, and he probably smells really bad. But in my head canon, he doesn't. And he's another just like a solid guy who has a relationship with a woman going through difficult stuff and handles it okay. So I think that seems to be my criteria.
Yeah, I see. That's
How supportive are you, really?
Yeah, it's important.
Yep, absolutely.
I wanted to do the game. He's a 10, but I actually like wrote down a bunch last night. And I want to see if you can guess who they are based on he's a 10, but.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
These are all ones you know. I only did ones you know from my list.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. He's a 10, but he drugs you and turns you into an exotic dancer.
Rhys-Ann.
Good job.
I love all of the memes of Feyre drunk on the fairy wine. I love them.
He's a 10, but a girl didn't text him back, so he turned into a dictator.
Oh. Coriolanus Snow?
That's it!
Yes!
Perfect.
Wow, okay. I'm good at this game.
You are. He's a 10, but he made you set your bedroom on fire.
Xaden.
You're so good.
And you know what? I would like to have some furniture breaking spicy times with Xaden.
You always got to refurnish your room.
I mean, just give me a throne.
Good at what he does, you know?
I'm good. I'm there for the throne, baby.
He's a 10, but only if you survive colonialism and the Revolutionary War.
Jamie?
Jamie! That's right. He's a 10, but he turns into rocks to avoid conflict.
But he turns into rocks to avoid conflict.
Or how about he camouflages into rocks to avoid conflict?
Oh, it's PETA. Okay. I thought he was like physically turning into a rock, and I'm like,
I mean, it could be.
There's a lot of
what we've been talking about.
shapeshifters.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. He's a 10, but you have to rub ointment on his wing stumps.
Oh, Hunt Athalar.
Hunt Athalar.
Poor Hunt.
And he's a 10, but I didn't tell you for your own good is his love language.
One of them does that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
Right.
That's kind of a lot of people here. He's a 10, but I didn't tell you for your own good. I can't figure out which one that would be.
Resand.
I didn't think Rhysand was going to be on here twice.
He said it twice. Yeah.
All right. That's how much we love Rhysand. He's on here twice.
Did you have any?
So I didn't pre-write any. So let me see if I can come up with one here. Okay. So he's a 10, but then his love for power made him marry a queen and leave you behind.
Wait, I don't have it.
Nah, it's a tough one. It's Eric Northman.
Oh,
She's like, I love you, Sookie. I love you. But also, she's the queen, and I could have so much power, and she's the queen, but I love you, but she's the queen.
Also, how that could be different people that we talked about as well is disturbing.
True. He's a 10, but when he found out that you're an evil mass murderer, he didn't want to talk to you anymore.
Wait, that could also be more than one.
I know. He's one of our hottie hot hotties.
Is it Rowan?
No, it's Rune.
It is. Well,
it is Rune. Because he's all hot to try and in love with her, and then he's like, "Oh wait, you did questionable shit. I'm not talking to you."
That was totally a Bella move that he pulled there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you killed people. Ugh.
Yeah, like how about you try talking to him about it or something instead of.
So what about an unpopular opinion time? Do you have a hot take on any of these?
I think that I know for a fact that me labeling Bill Compton as bad is very controversial. People love Vampire Bill.
Yeah.
There are people who are very upset that Sookie doesn't end up with Vampire Bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seriously? He's not a good guy. He's good-ish. He's good-ish, but is he good for Sookie? No. No.
You also had another hot take that people also will go to bat for Dorian Haviljard as well. I saw a TikTok yesterday, actually, where she was going through guys that were bad, and she had all these guys on this list, like Edward, and had Dorian, and the whole comments was like, I was with you till Dorian. What do you mean? So there are people who are not, they don't agree with that at all.
Dorian is definitely redeemed, and I love Dorian. Remember, he's good-ish.
Yeah, right.
He was not on my bad list. He was just like, a lot of questionable stuff, but I also have to remind myself how young Dorian is.
Right.
He has I think he starts out with a very myopic view of the world and people, and then as he gets out there and starts to learn, I think he develops a little bit more. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm not. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Don't
cancel us.
He's good-ish. He's not bad.
Good-ish.
He's not bad. We could rehab Dorian. We can make that work.
I think that
whereas Kale, I can't.
No.
I think he does it too many times.
I think you're also not going to be able to redeem Dane no matter what happens. I don't think you're going to ever forgive Dane, regardless of what she writes coming up.
Nope. No.
You put in our notes, he's an asshole way too many times for him to be redeemable.
Yes. I don't, I mean, I just don't like it. We've got a whole episode about it, about Fourth Wing. You can see how much I despise Dane.
Mm-hmm. I think that my hot take is, and this is a real hot take, is that a big, amazing love in your life is not a good reason to throw away everything or put yourself in danger or whatever. So when we talk about like Claire from Outlander, she literally goes back to the 18th century. Girl, no ma'am, you were in the
You
the
were safe.
1960s. You were fine.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That big love, I don't care how much that wasn't worth it. Mourn him and move on. And there's a lot like that. Just because that was the whole thing with Edward, and just because you had this big love doesn't mean it's worth it to throw your whole life away.
Yes,
That's my
and
hot
take
take.
Hot take from people who are maybe a little bit further along in life, or I mean, a lot of you are probably in our age group, we hope. Yeah. But you can have epic loves, but they may not be the end game, because epic love is very complicated and heady, and you miss a lot of stuff when you're in that epic love. And that's why, a lot of times we're very judgmental about these guys, because long-term, would they make good long-term relationships? I mean, look at Rhysand. Okay, we love Rhysand. If Rhysand walked in here right now, I'd be like, well, yes, I will go to the night court with you. Bill, I love you. Be back soon. When she gets pregnant, now he's lying to her. Right. Like, he never learns. He's not a good mate.
Yeah. And so much of these stories, the love story is what happens when they're not together, and they want to get back together. And I even told my husband, because he's retired, so he is home with me all the time. I'm like, you need to go somewhere so that I can miss you. Because when he used to be on deployment, I'm like, oh my God, I missed him so much. But now he's here all the time. I'm just like, you need to go somewhere else. Because it's when you're not together that you really appreciate that relationship that you have.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It also makes you forget about things when they come back, you're like, oh, I forgot how much I hated that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Trial by tropes. Do we want to do this?
So pick a trope, and we nominate a book boyfriend who nails that trope. I would say morally gray disaster man would be like Xaden. He's morally gray.
Definitely morally gray disaster man. You know what? He's so gray, I have to say. I just realized on my spreadsheet, I didn't put anything next to his name.
PETA is the ultimate cinnamon roll.
Yes.
Yep. I feel like he is such a cinnamon roll that she had to write in the hijacking scene to just make him a little more, spicy.
She had to, because otherwise it just would have been him being supportive and loving
Sweet
the whole
guy,
time.
The whole time. And Katniss hates that.
And Katniss hating herself because of it. The brooding protector. Hunt Athalar.
Yeah, that was exactly what mine was going to be. I was going to say Hunt fits that so perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He definitely fits that.
He definitely does. We're going to do a dream dating pool. If you would like to play along at home, write down they don't have to be people on our lists. They could be
I'm going to pick one off your list because I didn't put it down, but he's going to go on. All right.
Yeah. Okay. And then, okay. So, dream dating pool. Oh boy, this is actually a little harder because now it's like I have 4 of my goods here I gotta pick.
Well, you don't have to pick only the good ones.
They don't have to be good. And we had no plans. We just have a line that says ultimate book boyfriend draft.
And what's our ultimate draft? Our dream dating pool. All right.
Dream dating pool. All right.
Who you got?
I've got my 4 in no particular order. Yep. My dream dates. Rhysand.
Okay.
Eric Northman.
Okay.
Rowan.
Okay.
And Xaden. Now, I know Xaden is young enough to be my son. Just pretend I'm 25.
I am dying that you have 3 Moss characters on your... She writes men you like.
I do, and that's one of the things I've said repeatedly to my husband is I'm like, I want you to read this Throne of Glass series because I love the way she writes men. She writes them very complicated.
Yeah. I have 2 on my... Okay, so my ultimate dream dating pool is Hunt Athalar and Rune Dannon. So from the same books, right?
There you go. Yeah.
I absolutely love Rune. It could just be Rune in my dream dating pool, and that'd be fine with me. Mm-hmm. I have Finley Ash Owen from The House Witch. He's just amazing.
Maybe I'll meet him this weekend.
It doesn't matter which one, just any one of the Sakui Ice Planet Barbarians. I need one of these. I need one of these.
I gotta read that too because I need to find out about the spur.
Everybody needs a spur. So
very curious now.
It's very important, Melissa.
Oh, quick funny story before we do our elimination round. I got this thing in the mail yesterday, and my husband had to bring it downstairs because the way it was wrapped up by the shipper, it literally looked like a giant dildo. I mean, no discreet packaging.
Oh my God.
So my husband brings it downstairs and he's like, you order something? And I'm looking at it like, what on earth?
Was it your mic?
No, it was the stupidest thing. I ordered balloons for this event that I'm exhibiting at, and they packaged the balloons with a pump, and then they just wrapped it up in a DHL bag.
Yes.
So
yes, I have
the balloons are at the bottom, and then there's a pump.
And they're like this big.
The way I was like dying, and I'm like, I really.
So you also want one of the 7-foot-tall blue aliens?
Apparently,
basically.
I do. Yeah. Okay, so now, all right, now you have to cross 2 off your list.
Oh, I don't even need to do that. I know which one's gonna win this. Like, I can already tell you who's gonna win in my dream dating pool. I know who's gonna win.
It's gonna be Rune, isn't it?
It's gonna be Rune. Rune
Okay.
is my top pick. I don't even have to eliminate anybody.
Okay, so we don't even need to eliminate, and I'm gonna blow all your minds when I say this. My top pick, without amnesia even, Eric Northman.
How does this happen, Melissa?
I'm just
How
telling
did you end up here?
Because and it's not even Alexander Skarsgård. I want you to understand he's TV Eric. Eric in my head.
Okay.
Also Eric in my head and Rowan look a lot alike.
Oh.
I don't know how I did that,
Well, that
but
helps.
he's like a giant Viking man, but he's so funny and he's so charismatic and he's hot.
So we're talking about book Eric then.
We're talking about book Eric.
So
Northman.
I will get into that probably within the next week or two. So I'll see what you mean here.
Completely does her dirty. Okay, I just want you to understand. But it's my dream dating pool, and if I were going to go on a dream date, it would be with Eric Northman.
Yeah, okay.
And you'd be with Rune Dannon.
I would
so
be.
We both
so bad.
Some questionable picks there. Let's not let our husbands ever find out about what these guys are like.
I know, because I do actually have like sweet cinnamon rolls on my list and just bypass those for the ones we
Don't we
actually
always?
have red flag. Yes. Why do we do that?
No, you marry the sweet cinnamon roll. You have a dream date with a bad boy.
So we need to hear from you guys. Who is your top pick? Maybe your top 4, top 3. Who's in your dream dating pool? Even if it wasn't ones we talked about. I need to know
we want to hear about the ones we don't know about. Please
Yes,
recommend
exactly right.
men.
Give us the men. Give us the book boyfriends.
Yeah. Oh, and I'd also like to point out, we did this in a totally heterosexual way.
Yeah.
So, and I'd be happy to do a version where we do best book girlfriends, because I have girl crushes too. Yeah. Morgan from Mists of Avalon, which they call her Morgane on the audio version of it. Yeah, it's very annoying. I don't know. Maybe that's the real saying, but anyway, yeah. No, I would.
I mean, I've read a lot of sapphic romances as well. I don't care.
We could totally do that. So if you want us to do best and worst book girlfriends, we could do that too.
The person who, Ruby Dixon, who writes the Ice Planet Barbarian, she has written sapphic romances with 8-foot tall blue women as well.
Sweet, yeah.
If you're into that
let's
kind
not
of thing.
forget our non-binary friends.
That's right.
There's some really. Oh my God, Asia Kate Dillon was in the third John Wick movie, and they are on Billions. And I think they are awesome.
I haven't watched that third movie. I think my husband has watched them all. I don't think I've watched the third one.
Yeah. They play the adjudicator. Very, very interesting role. But
I've read so much romance. I've actually read multiple Ace and Arrow, romance. They work somehow as well.
Yeah, it all works. There's a vast spectrum of human relationship interactions.
And people have written really amazing books with these characters.
I love that. Yeah. Awesome. So please, we want to hear all the stuff. If we've been controversial in any way, please let us know. And please let us know who would be in your dream dating pool. Liza, can you tell them where they can find us on all the things?
So we are on TikTok and Instagram, and you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So wherever you watch or hear your favorite podcasts. And we're on Patreon. We do so much fun stuff on Patreon.
We have a lot of fun on Patreon, and we're very grateful to the people who signed up not knowing what we were going to do or what it was about. Thank you guys so much. And until we see you all next time,
stay unmasked and overstimulated.
Bye. Yay! Bye!